Yeah. That I get to like sit with you. I was just going to say hi. We met at the last function. Remember Sacramento Focus? My dad and I were saying, we met him before. When you introduced yourself.
Actually, you look vaguely familiar.
We were at the same table with those young kids that were like asking us a ton of questions.
It was like amazing.
I know, right? And
I mean,
I just was
the
telling
kid
somebody.
I was next to is one of the primary reasons why I came back. I'm kind of sorry they weren't continuing.
That's the feedback I would give is that I think when they intermix the kids again, because I think that was really meaningful that night when we did that.
Oh, yeah. I was so impressed. It was like I couldn't help myself.
Yeah. So anyway, so we were, my dad and I were like, we want to say hi to him, but I'm speaking, so I got nervous that I needed to get over here, even though I'm the last person, so I figured I was going to hang out. It's an hour. Exactly an hour, exactly. Although I think it's already 7. We're already late. Anyway, it's good that you came. Yeah, it's nice to see you again.
Seriously. Camera's gotten that small. And that's tiny.
Oh my God!
The tripod is huge.
I thought there was nothing on there.
There's the same setup over there. They're probably recording everything we're saying as we speak.
I didn't do it.
That's the storyline. He came from near Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We lived near St. Louis. We met in Denver, got married in Denver. She came from Nebraska, Illinois, and other places. I came from Texas. And where everybody's been blue, but nobody stayed. The wind's always blowing. Everybody's story. I happen to go and stay occasionally. I have a daughter living there, a couple of grandkids. But beyond that, I have not much desire to go. You can fly anywhere, but you can't fly everywhere easily or cheaply. And there's many places that cost twice as much to get to. There's many places that she had a chance to live in Seattle. She had a chance to live in any place that it's a good place to grow up, safe. Lots of feedlots. Very good. Half the rate, Juice station, like having a deadhead. There's space for it to get us. They keep doing it. Yes, it works. It used to be easy for us. No, it's not easy. Oh, funny. back in the day. No. The nursery down in Buckville is still there. Or at least what they call the nursery. It's shopping here. I don't think you could do anything more.
Okay, so are we in the right place? Wait,
Mary, I got a seat for you right
At this time, we're going to ask you to take our seats. We're going to get started in just a minute.
For your sister. She can't hear.
Evidently, he'll have to do with me.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kyle Geringer,
And I'm Alvaro Stacy.
and we are 2 years state ambassadors. Now that both of our legs of our conference are underway, I want to officially welcome you to the 2017 California 4-H State Leadership Conference. Our planning committee of youth and adult volunteers, the 2016-2017 California State Ambassador Team, and the 2016-2017 Educational Technology Team would want to welcome you. We have worked hard over the past year lining up an excellent program for all of you, and we are incredibly excited for the rest of the weekend.
All right, at this time, we'd like to ask you guys to please stand and remove your hats and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the 4-H Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. As a true 4-H member, I pledge my head to clear thinking, my heart to greater loyalty, my hands to larger service, and my health to better living for my club, my community, my country, and my world. Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. We'd like to recognize several groups of people that have made this conference a reality. The first group is the conference planning team. When I call your name, would you please stand and give a wave if you are present. Cole Breck, the co-conference director. Jenna Coburn, co-conference director. Sarah Lloyd, co-program assistant coordinator. Austin Kuzowski, co-program assistant coordinator.
From our Make It Meaningful team, which is responsible for education and assemblies, Caitlin Sutherland, Millie Keegan, Jen Higgins, Trosh, Mara Sparvan, Leilani Butler, and Lauren Hankins.
From the Make It Happen team, which is responsible for logistics, we have Lori Birkin, Bobby June Birkin, and Robbie Hankins.
From the Make It Fun team, which is responsible for recreation, Nikki Shunty and Ryan Albani.
From the Make It Safe team, we have Joyce Honorlaw and Rob Hankins. Those individuals are medical staff for this conference. And then we also have Sandy Southern and Ryan Cleland. They're our women's and men's deans.
Also, a big thank you to our A&R program support unit for their logistic conference support.
Let's also take a moment to recognize our program assistants. Please take a stand.
Let's also thank our chaperones for helping to keep it safe and providing guidance and support to the SLC conference. Chaperones, will you please stand?
And last but not least, the support group. All of these people are constantly running around working hard to make this conference great for all of you. So if you're on support group, please stand.
No conference can happen without the technology experts, giving us light, sound, and overall technological support. Will the members of the California 4-H Educational Technology Advisory Committee please stand? Tyler Kern, Connor Lyden, Liam McCormick, Casey Walver, and Curtis Ulrich.
Now at this time, let's give them a hand for all of their hard work, and as we welcome Ashlyn to the stage to share a bit about what they do.
Hey, I'm Ashlyn. I'm from the Educational Technology Advisory Committee. That is a mouthful. We are a team of adults and youth who want to share a passion for technology. This includes photography, cinematography, graphic design, and robotics, among some of them. You might see us around the conference this weekend, taking pictures for the afterglow, taking film for the newscasts, and doing a couple workshops as well. Aside from conference support, we also serve as an advisory board to the state office and support a couple STEM initiatives. And if you think you might be interested in joining this fun and creative team, please talk to any of our team members.
Thank you, Ashlyn. We're fortunate to have members from Texas Technology Leadership Team partnering with our tech team. Would they please come to this stage?
Okay, so our customary greeting in Texas is howdy. So, howdy.
Howdy!
Come on, y'all can do better than that. Howdy!
Howdy!
That's what I'm talking about. Well, we are a part of the Texas 4-H Technology team, and my name is Luke Carroll. I'm from Brownwood, Texas. This is our advisor, Mr. Kevin Wenzel from Houston, Ms. Peyton Holcomb from Georgetown, and Ms. Olivia Twining from Dripping Springs. So please give them a hand. So we were part of an exchange program with the California Technology team, and they sent 2 of their delegates over to our largest event, which is Texas 4-H Roundup, which hosted 4,000 people this year in Texas A&M College Station. And also, so So 3 of us and our advisor, Mr. Wenzel, were sent over here to come present to y'all about renewable energy this week, and also to help out the California team with new ideas and new things going to be presented to y'all later in this conference. So thank you, and if you have any questions about how things are done in the good old state of Texas, please tell us.
And finally, let's welcome our friends from the Great White North. Let's give it up for Emmett Sawyer and Kelsey Haggerty from our 4-H International Exchange Program in Canada. Please stand.
And now I'd like to introduce Jackie and Trent Baldwin to the stage.
Hello, my name's Jackie Penna, and I'm from St. Clair County.
And my name's Trent Baldwin, and I'm from Monterey County.
And it has been a pleasure to serve as the state ambassadors for the second year.
In addition to Aubrey and Kyle, whom you have already met, please join me in welcoming the remaining first-year state ambassadors to the stage. Alberto Lizarraga, San Bernardino County. Deputy Kelly, San Bernardino County.
Gabriella Gurman, Stanislaus County. Jordan Minor, Contra Costa County.
Kaylee Cummings, San Diego County. Olivia Snodgrass, San Luis Obispo County.
Riley Arbuckle, Contra Costa County. And lastly, Sarah Gady, Yolo County.
Give them a round of applause, guys. Kyle and Aubrey will now share information on our conference guidelines.
As youth leaders of California 4-H program, we would like to take a few minutes to talk about the standards of conduct for SLC. We are all representatives of the 4-H program. How the UC Davis staff, the local community, and other guests to the campus view 4-H is up to us. Please remember this is as you are having fun here at SLC. If you would like to read along with us in your conference agendas, we'll be reading from the section titled Delegate Expectations.
The State Leadership Conference staff wants you to have the best possible experience at the conference. Much of your experience at the conference depends on you. Let's keep everyone safe, physically, emotionally, and culturally. Please abide by these simple guidelines.
My actions and attitudes will reflect positively on my club, my county, and myself.
I understand that the rules of conference are designed for the well-being of all, and I will abide by them.
If I see someone breaking the rules of the conference or the 4-H code of conduct, I will report it. If I do not report it, I know that I am now breaking the code of conduct myself.
I commit to being an active participant in all activities.
I understand that I can only get out of the conference what I put into it, and I commit to make the most out of my opportunities.
I will meet friends new and old, learn new things that will help me be a better leader and role model in my community, and I will have a good time.
And just a few more reminders, when you're moving throughout the campus, you must travel with at least one or another person, and preferably in groups of 3 or more.
Ask your roommates or group mates for help if you need a buddy. Help keep each other safe. If you see someone without a buddy, be that buddy.
You must wear your green 4-H name badges at all times during the conference. You will not be allowed in the buildings if you do not have them on.
And please do not let anyone in the dorm buildings that are not wearing the green 4-H name badges.
Follow your schedule and be in your sessions when you're supposed to be. The same goes for being in and quiet in your dorms at curfew, which will be around 10 p.m. each night. Only in emergencies should you be outside your dorms at night, and then only at the direction of an adult. There's a 4-H security roaming the dorm areas during the night, and if you are outside after curfew, the consequences will not be pretty.
We also want to make sure that you are comfy here at the conference during your activities. Being appropriately dressed for the situation will help you. Thank you all for listening, and if you have any questions about dress guidelines or delegate expectations, you can ask your PA. Make sure to follow these guidelines and have fun.
At this time, we'd like to invite Curtis Ulrich, the chair of the State Management Board, to the stage. Along with a few other members, they are here to talk about what they're doing and what is coming up in your areas over the next year.
Hey folks, I'm Curtis. So I wear a couple different hats at SLC. I am a PA and I'm also a tech team member. Hey guys. Also, so when I'm not at SLC, I'm also the chair of the California 4-H Management Board. So you may be wondering, what is the Management Board? Now raise your hand if you have heard of us. That's pretty good. All right. But I would like everybody to understand what's going on, which is why I asked for a few minutes tonight to talk about what we're doing. So California 4-H is a partnership of staff, volunteers, and youth. The Management Board is a platform that California 4-H has created to help 4-Hers and volunteers improve and grow the program. And that's one of those partnerships. So it's a really unique opportunity because it gives us the resources and the connections that we need to build new things quickly and to help make significant changes and improvements to the program. So there are a couple different ways that people can get involved with the Management Board. We have 10 directors on the Management Board and we have 8 committees. We have one committee for each of your 4 areas, which are the northern, southern, central, and Bay Coast areas. And we also have committees for finance, communication, marketing, and resource development. Committees all still have room available, so if you're interested in joining any of those and helping make an impact at the state level, come and find one of us. I'll be inviting them up in a minute to talk a little bit more about what they do, but we're happy to have you join us. And then next year in the spring, we'll be opening up applications for director positions again, because we'll have a lot of people whose terms are expiring, and then we'll need some new people to fill those positions. So there are a few things that, now that I have 200 of the best California 4-Hers in front of me, I wanted to make sure you knew about. So many of you have attended the sectional conferences, which are Y, Cal, TIC, and LCORT. Those are all continuing in some form. They have a different name this year, and so they'll be called Youth Summits. So it'll be the Northern Youth Summit, Central Youth Summit, you got the idea. So those are going to be all at the same locations that they have been, with the exception of the North, which rotates anyway. And the leadership teams for those have all been picked. Applications for those were due until July 1st. So those teams are working together to get those conferences up and running. One of the other major things that we manage is the area presentation day and field day system. So all of those are going to be continuing like next year. And if you are interested in making one of those happen, you can join us on one of our committees as well. And there are a lot of other cool things that we're doing. I'm going to let them talk about that in a second. So California 4-H has a lot of really cool leadership opportunities. And you may be wondering why this one is different. So State Ambassador is also a fantastic opportunity. That one's a little bit more about education and ambassadorship as implied by the name. The Management Board is really about directly growing the program and getting those excited folks out there and making a difference by creating new conferences, new events, improving the old ones, the existing ones, that kind of thing. And so to talk a little bit more about what they're doing, I'll invite the other directors of the Management Board up, because it turns out that they're also very involved in SLC. So coming up.
Well, hi guys, like Curtis, I wear many hats. My name is Trent. I'm the Bay Coast Area Director. Let me give you guys some background on the Bay Coast area. We are made up of 13 counties. That is Santa Barbara, San Luis Obispo, Monterey, San Benito, Santa Cruz, San Clara, San Mateo, San Francisco, Alameda, Contra Costa, Sonoma, Marin, and Napa. So if you are from one of those 13 counties, and you're part of the Bay Coast area, I want you to cheer as loud as you can right now. Come on. wow, we got some good participation here. So my favorite part about being a director is that I get to work with some amazing teenagers. Many of you are in the audience that have been on my committee. It's been an amazing year, and I hope for the next amazing 2 years. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up. Citizenship Weekend in September, a fun event called the 4-H Games coming up, and then after that, it's the Bay Coast Youth Summit, and even more on the horizon. So I'm super excited for the next couple years. Thank you guys. I'd like to invite Rose Stacy, Central Area Director.
Alright, hi guys. So for those of you who didn't hear, I'm Aubrey Stacy, and I just started as the Central Area Director on July 1st, so I'm very new to the position. I'm representing 19 counties. I'm not as cool as Trent, and I don't have it all memorized, but I'm working on that. So as far as it goes, right now we're really working on getting the Youth Summit going, and going from Elcourt to that. So if any of you are interested in helping out with that, and then also the committee, please come and talk to me. I'm excited to figure out another event for us to do in the next couple of years. And at this time, I'm going to invite Ryan.
Thank you, Aubrey. Again, my name is Ryan Cleland, and I'm the Northern Area Director. So all the counties that I also don't have memorized in the northern part of the state fall under my purview. And the next big event that we're planning for is also our Youth Summit. We just got our location picked and announced that on our Facebook page. If you're in the north, I know typically we try to refrain from having cell phones out at assemblies, but if you're in the north, I give you permission right now to go on your cell phone, go on Facebook, and like our page and be a member of the group. That's something I'm really excited about in the future. One of the biggest issues I noticed in my first year that we talked about was communication. And so I created a group where anybody that is a member of it, that's a part of the northern area, can put in there what's going on in their county, a cool project that they have, something that their all-star team did, so that we can share and network better and learn more about what we do in the area. So also, I'm still happy to have people join my program committee like everybody else. So if you're from the north and interested in being a part of it, come up and talk to me afterward. Thank you. And next, Caitlin Sutherland.
Hello, thank you, Ryan. My name is Caitlin Sutherland. I am the Director of Marketing and Public Relations. And unlike Aubrey and Ryan, I don't have a couple of counties. The whole state falls under me, which is pretty cool. Woo! So what I'm doing, I'm also new to the position like Aubrey. I started on July 1st, so still learning. And I am still accepting people on my committee, so if you're interested, definitely come talk to me at some point during the conference. So what we're doing for marketing and PR is advertising California 4-H to outside publics and working with community organizations and really fostering connections with other people and organizations in the community to help bring up California's public image and help get more diverse publics into our program. So I'm really excited to start out this new experience as a director on the state management board. So with that, I'll toss it over to Sarah Lloyd.
Hi everybody. So I'm originally from San Mateo County, so shout out to the Bay Coast area. And I'm the vice chair of the management board, which means I don't have a list of counties to memorize, though I did, as a state ambassador, have all 57, 58, including San Francisco, only 55 of which have a 4-H program. So I had those memorized at one point, so can I get partial credit? My big focus on the management board, personally, something that's really important to me is making sure that all of our events, including like the sectional conferences now being called youth summits, I want those events to have the same awesome resources that SLC has, and make them really big, exciting events where you get like sweet t-shirts and have really awesome venues. I'm big on t-shirts like this. And I also am really, really passionate about lowering barriers to entry into the 4-H program, which means making things a little bit more accessible for people who maybe don't know what 4-H is and need to learn the 4-H language, and also reducing like the cost of going to events, because that's really important to me. So that's my take and my part of the management board, and I'll hand it over to Curtis to close us out.
So we have 4 directors who aren't with us today. John Trammell is a Southern Area Director, doing a lot of the same things that our other 3 area directors are. We have Sue Garcia, who is the Communication Director. They do the great things of helping you all understand what is going on around California 4-H. We have Kelly Bailey, who is the Resource Development Director, who helps fund all of these cool things that we're trying to do. And we have Ed Ho, who is our Finance Director and our Treasurer. And he is definitely looking for people for his committee because they want to really revamp and make the financial system for all this awesome and make sure that everybody has access to all of the conferences. So if you're passionate about helping people get to these events, you might not have the financial resources to do so, you should talk to him and Kelly. So we will be at the Sparks Fair on Sunday. We'll have a booth there. And so we want, my challenge for all of you is to think of a way that if you were on one of our committees or on the board as a director, how could you make a big difference to the California 4-H program? Everybody got it? Cool.
All right, thank you, Curtis and State Management Board. So now we would like to invite Paulette Solon to the stage to speak to us about the Western Region Leaders Forum.
Dudes, how many of you have attended a Western Regional Leaders Forum? Stand up, look around, stand up. Notice the ages here. I'm young. And then there's Emmett. So, this is a conference for teams, volunteers, and staff. It encompasses the 13 Western states and Alberta. However, we have been having people visit us from North Dakota, Ohio, Maryland, Kansas, Indiana, because they no longer have a conference. So we want to keep the conference going. It's a great opportunity for you guys to interact with people outside of your purview, people who have different ideas about what to do, a great exchange of activities. And at this time, we're going to roll the commercial.
Hello, Western Region 4-H leader. My name is Paul. Some people know me as the Ripples Guy. And I am so excited that I'm going to get to hang out with you all next year when WRLF 2018 convenes in San Diego. I've been asked to help with the opening session by giving the keynote address. And we are already hard at work. We are going to extend your capacity in 2 important leadership areas. Reaching out skills so that you can be more effective at connecting with other people. And reaching in skills so that you can more consistently bring your best self. We are going to create some amazing ways of change. Are you in? Have a great 2017, and we will see you next year in San Diego.
March 1st through 4th, San Diego, California, Crown Plaza Hotel. How many of you have never been to San Diego? Excellent opportunity to come see us. Looking forward to seeing you. Go to our Facebook page, 4-H WRLF, and like us so that you will be the first to get all the updates. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Paulette. So we have some special guests with us tonight. We would like to welcome our California 4-H alumni and friends.
Our programs would not be possible without our loyal commitment to 4-H and to all of us. California's 4-H youth members.
Can all of the alumni, volunteers, parents, grandparents, and friends in the audience please stand? Let's give them a warm round of applause.
Thank you, please be seated.
This year, 3 of our influential California 4-H alumni were honored by National 4-H as founding luminaries.
The official launch of the 2017 luminaries took place last spring at the 8th Annual National 4-H Council Legacy Awards.
4-H luminaries help fuel the growth of 4-H by committing to
advocacy, serve as 4-H spokespeople in the media at events and online.
Engagement, offering expertise and access to experiences for 4-H youth, alumni, and professionals.
Connection, open doors to their networks for marketing, media, and fundraising opportunities for 4-H.
And investment, contribute or facilitate annual donations to help grow the 4-H mission.
Unfortunately, unable to join us today, we would like to congratulate Dr. Glenda Humanson, Vice President of UC Agricultural and Natural Resources.
Andrew Bosworth, Vice President of Engineering, Ads, and Pages at Facebook.
And Dr. Faustino Bernadette, an anesthesiologist, St. Mary Medical Center.
Let's give them a round of applause.
Each year, the same ambassadors choose a platform to focus our plan of work. We're going to share with you what we've been doing all year. I'd like to welcome Albert to share how and why we chose our platform.
Why is it important to set goals before going out and completing your mission? As 4-H'ers, we strive for better living, and part of that is knowing our goals and realizing who we are. This year, we chose our platform to be goal setting. As a state ambassador team, we all made suggestions and most were evolving around finding your place and setting your personal goals for yourself. Whether you're still in school or going off to college in the fall, setting goals for yourself is the key to success. Our theme for this conference is Drive, which focuses on pursuing your goals and achieving what you set your mind to. We chose this platform because we want to encourage 4-H youth to set goals and be driven to strive towards greatness. Sarah will now share a little more on our platform.
Working on your own individual goals and aspirations is a main component of how the conference will be organized. We have different activities that center around the same idea, to achieve your personal goals. In order to do so, we're going to be hosting a Sparks Fair, which will help you find your passion, and doing activities and listening to awesome speakers that will help you hone in on how you plan to reach that goal. Everyone here at this conference is here for you to help support and motivate you to find that drive and make it to where you want to go. So find your spark, set your goals, and make your mark. Stephanie will now share a little more on the Healthy Living Summit.
This past February, I, along with 2 other ambassadors, attended the 2017 National Healthy Living Summit in Chevy Chase, Maryland at the National 4-H Conference Center. Here we presented on topics of digital health and the importance of sleep. We discussed these ideas with 4-Hers on a national platform, exposing us to a pool of new perspectives and possible solutions. We were able to also learn about the health issues that are faced by states other than our own. Offering ideas stemmed from our own backgrounds and experiences to 4-Hers such as ourselves just looking to make a difference in their own community. Olivia will now share more about Sparks Fair we'll be having on Sunday morning.
Hello everybody, so I'm Olivia and I wanted to talk to you really quickly about the Sparks Fair that we'll be hosting on Sunday. So in the culmination of our platform on goal setting, the state ambassador team decided to host a Sparks Fair event at this year's State Leadership Conference. And the idea behind this was that we wanted to give you all an opportunity to explore and discover your own sparks. The Sparks Fair event, which will be hosted on Sunday morning, is divided into 3 different parts. First, we'll have a booth section that shows different community organizations, local service groups, and opportunities that you can get involved in. Second, we have a craft section that's full of fun activities like face painting or making vision boards. Third, our platform section focuses on engaging activities that center around the platform and goal setting. And in addition to all these activities, you'll also have the chance to win Apple product prizes, which are really exciting. We have been planning this event for several months now, and we hope that you all learn how to find your place on the map by discovering your sparks. Please welcome Jackie and Trent to share information now about the Youth Adult Partnership platform.
While the state ambassador team was focusing on our goal-setting platform, Trent and I also focused on our own platform as state ambassador twos. Our platform was to bring awareness and strengthen youth adult partnerships around the state. Our goal was to create an environment within the California 4-H program of a cooperation, partnership, and respect to both youth and adults. Some specific goals we had were to present the Youth Adult Partnership Training here at SLC 2017, which we will be having tomorrow during Session C, so I hope to see some of you guys there. We also had the goal to present the Youth Adult Partnership Training at least 2 new events, which we completed. We also trained at least 100 youth and 50 adults in Youth Adult Partnership. And lastly, at the end of the conference, we hope to maintain above a 90% of respecting rating at SLC 2017. So I hope all of you guys are respecting each other.
To reach these goals and to implement our program, we partnered with our very own State 4-H office staff, Scott Motti, Program Representative for Volunteer Development, on best practices to implement the program and to coordinate with current endeavors in volunteer development at the state level. We work with Dr. Kendra Lewis, Academic Coordinator for Evaluation, on finding data and research on this important aspect of our youth program. We have also represented the State Ambassador team and Youth Voice on the Youth Retention Research Work Group, an interstate project where state staff from coast to coast have been researching how to improve member retention rates after their first year. We've also worked on changing up our own Youth Adult Partnership presentation and making it a lot more fun and engaging. From our platform, we hope to have 3 outcomes for California 4-H. To build a better awareness of what Youth Adult Partnership is, to have more cooperative, respectful, and fun state events, and to improve the current Youth Adult Partnership models statewide. We hope you attend our Youth Adult Partnership Workshop, Up and Away Youth Adult Partnerships, in Session C, Room 229, tomorrow. Thank you guys.
Thank you for listening as we talk to you about this year's platform. At this time, we are very excited to welcome our guest speaker, Lynette Ward. She is a Sacramento County 4-H alumni, a career consultant. Please give her a round of applause as we welcome her to the stage.
I'm going to give it a try with this. Does that work? Can you hear me? Yeah. I actually feel like I don't need a mic sound.
Thank you so much for having me here this evening. I love these opportunities because 4-H gave me such an advantage, and the opportunity to come back and share with you about that experience is really important to me. I'm thrilled that the ambassadors pick goal setting because it's such an important piece of the rest of your lives. You're going to use goal setting in every single thing that you do. And I know that my ability to set and achieve goals is what has really guided me throughout my college experience and throughout my career. And that all started in 4-H. Additionally, what 4-H gave me was the confidence to know that I could take on new tasks and new roles. It was interesting tonight at the dinner, Ray said it was amazing when we were 4-Hers what people would let us do, what we were allowed to try out. And I do think that can be good and bad, right? But I do think that's what 4-H really gives us, is that opportunity to try something new. So whether you're doing traditional projects or you've come up with something that, hey, I want to learn more about that, 4-H is open to that experience and changing that experience. So when I headed off to college, it really influenced that particular piece. So my first career was in public relations after I graduated from college, and then I had a career in magazine publishing, and now I'm a career consultant. So you don't do all those different things without goal setting along the way. So think of it this way, goal setting is like having a map to get to where you want to go. To drive forward, whether it's with your college or with your career experience, you'll need to make a plan to get there. Without a goal, it's really hard to get to where you're going. Just like a road trip, you need to know what road you're going to take, where you're going to stop along the way, and when you might need some help. So goal setting really helps us to manage our time, and that's something that's very important that I think we've all learned throughout our 4-H experiences, because we had to complete our projects, we had to complete deadlines. We had to make sure things got done on time. I'm sure the ambassadors were like frantic up until the last minute of SLC getting everything together. So that goal setting piece really starts with what I hope you have learned about, and if not, maybe tonight's the first night, and that's having what we call SMART goals. Have you heard of SMART goals? Yeah. Yeah, and if you haven't heard of them, you're going to experience them in the business world. And I wish that I had known about SMART goals when I started out in my career. What a SMART goal is we're taking each letter of the word SMART. So by setting a SMART goal, you start with your S, and your S is a specific action. So what actions are you going to take to get to where you want to go? Not just having a goal of, I want to go to college, but what actions are you going to take in order to get there? Then you have to have that M, the measurement. How am I going to measure whether or not I've completed my goal? Certainly, getting to college is going to be that measurement, but along the way, you're going to need to check some things off the list. Have you explored the different colleges that offer the experience that you want? Have you visited those campuses to make sure it's a place that you want to be? Is anybody thinking about going to UC Davis now that you've been here? All right. So again, those kinds of things influence that experience. So then we have to look at the A, and the A is it really achievable? And that's an important piece, because I think sometimes when people set goals, they don't think about whether or not it's actually possible and what kind of barriers might get in their way. So thinking about that as you're setting the goal is going to set you up for success. Then, is it relevant? Is it relevant to you? And ultimately someday it's going to be, is it relevant to the organization that you work for? We want to know that when you're setting goals, that it's moving something forward. So you really got to have that conversation. Is that something that's relevant and important to me? And then you get to the T, and the T is really about being time-bound. That we've given ourselves a parameter to do that. I always joke about, do I want to lose 5 pounds? Well, that's great, but I have to give myself a time frame to do that in, right? So we have to have it be time-bound. We have to have the small measurement tools along the way. So that's what creates a SMART goal, by having all of those different components. And that's the thing that I think was so helpful to us in 4-H, because you get that experience to do things step by step, projects step by step, tracking in record books step by step. So you get that opportunity. Even the STAR system is step by step. So you get to do that along the way, and 4-H has really influenced that. I know that getting to places on time, meeting deadlines is something that's hugely important now that I have my own consulting business, because I wouldn't have clients if I don't show up on time or I don't complete projects on time and meet those deadlines. Those things are hugely important. There's no question that my goal setting paid off during my 4-H experiences because I was thrilled to have the opportunity to complete projects, track those, and in my record book competition, I was able to win nationals, which ultimately helped me with a scholarship to go to college. And then I was a Diamond Star, which now is what's called an ambassador. But again, it was through checking off goal after goal after goal in my 4-H experience to get to that experience. And I, like you, got to work with a wonderful group of people in terms of putting programs together for the state of California. So when we think about going off to college, that's another place where I really set a goal. I decided that I wasn't going to head off to a major university. I was thinking about financial support, and I was thinking the best place for me was to go to a community college. But I had to make a concrete plan from my goal to complete that within 2 years. And I also set myself up a little bit because the 2 schools I wanted to go to were UC Santa Barbara and Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. So you're looking at 2 different systems, UC system and Cal State system. So I had to make sure that I was setting goals along the way so that I could complete that AA degree within that 2 years, but also meet both the requirements of the UC and the Cal State system. So that really helped me as I got to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. That was the big winner. Go Mustangs! So that was a helpful piece as I went along the way. And what I know from that experience is when I got to Cal Poly, I was amazed at the amount of kids that I was working with that had never been on a committee before. And I thought, how strange. Like, we've been on committees our whole time in 4-H, right? So it was that advantage that we as 4-Hers have above others that are coming along. And think about this, goal setting influences every aspect of your life. I love to travel. And one time I had a cousin say to me, you're so lucky that you get to go out of the country and travel. And I thought to myself, it's not luck. I set a goal. I made a plan. I saved money. And I bought a ticket, right? It's that easy. It's tracking along the way. I love that you're from Australia because one of my favorite places, and I had a terrific experience when I visited Australia in 2002 and made a plan that I would return every 5 years for a holiday there. And I've done that in 2007, 2012, 2017, and I'm on track for 2022. Goal achieved. So it influences every aspect of your life. But probably the greatest example of me achieving a goal was when I decided to change careers. I had a wonderful career in the magazine publishing industry, and I'm forever grateful that I got to work for People Magazine, Life Magazine, and Time Magazine. But shortly after the events of September 11th, 2001, I decided that I wanted to contribute to the world in a very different way. The role that I had in publishing was in advertising sales. And I kind of thought to myself, I sell ad space, and I manage people who sell ad space. I want to help a human being. So I decided to leave that career and start another. That was a huge goal of mine. And let me tell you, it wasn't easy. But here's what I know. Because I had been in 4-H, I knew that I could do the hard work. I knew that it would take time that I had to invest in that goal. And I took the steps. I networked with people. I actually, took classes. I did what I had to do. And ultimately, the confidence that I had in terms of setting goals, achieving goals, is what got me pushed along the way. And then the added icing on the cake was that my 4-H experiences through things like attending SLC and different leadership conferences and forums, that I was able to interact with any human being that I came upon. And that ultimately is what led to my success in getting a contract in career consulting. It really is your choice about what you do next. And setting and achieving goals is possible when you're willing to do the specific actions involved, when you're measuring it along the way, when you know that it's achievable, that you've decided that it's really relevant to you, and you've put a time frame around which you're going to do that. I have a best practice for goal setting that I use, and my clients love it, because every year I go away for an annual retreat. And I shut down the phone, which I know is horrifying for many of you to think, but I shut down the phone, I shut down the computer, and I sit and I think about what went well this year, what didn't go well this year, what partnerships did I have, what partnerships do I not want to have again, what work fueled me, what work sparked me, what work do I want to do over and over again. And I set goals out of that session. That is a best practice that my clients value because it's me practicing what I preach to them, that they've got to set a goal to get to where they want to go. The hard thing about the world that you guys are living in now is that there's change and it's so rapid, and that's exciting and good. You will be changing careers multiple times, many more than I have. I've kind of had 3 different career changes already, and I probably have 1 more in me, but you're gonna change careers a lot. So you're gonna need to set those goals along the way. And what goal setting allows you to do, just like in that annual retreat, is I get to decide where I go next, instead of somebody telling me where I wanna go next. The goal becomes mine, and I'm really driving forward to where I want to go. So I encourage you to keep in your minds, where do you want to be? Think about it on Sunday as you experience that event. What's sparking to you? Because here's what I know. I speak to corporations and individuals in corporations every day. I work with individuals privately, and all of those people are looking for that role that they have that spark. Because when you have that spark, you actually want to go to work every day. You want to do what you love. And when you don't have that spark, we call that sad, tired, and angry. And I want you all to be the bright, shiny pennies that I know you can be. And that's what you do when you follow your passion and you follow that spark and you set the goal to get there. So 4-H gave me a lot of confidence to stand in front of groups. I actually love it. I do it for a living, both in this country and others. And it gave me that confidence to navigate change, that I could try new things, right? And that I would survive that I would learn and I would grow along the way. And you'll figure it out. There's stuff you don't want to do, and there's stuff that really will drive you, that really will spark you along the way. So perhaps your goal this last year was to get to SLC. Maybe somebody talked about it, in your county or in your club, and you were like, I want to do that. And you set out to do it. And now you're here. Now, your goal just got bigger. Because now, what are you going to do with what you learned here? What happens to the information and the experiences that you have here? How do you take that back and fuel that and spark others to the experiences that you've had at SLC? I will tell you that goal setting will touch every aspect of your life. Whether it's travel, whether it's college, whether it's career, whether it's buying a house, that goal setting piece is going to be a very important piece. And if you hone it and own it, you're going to be able to do exactly what you want to do. And you'll be contributing in the best possible way to your communities. So you have the 4-H advantage. I see it in all of you. And it's why I love coming to these events. So use that wisely. What's the next goal you're going to set? Thank you.
All right, so we just want to give a giant thank you to Lynette. That was awesome. All right, so we have a wellness challenge for you again this year. The challenge forms were in your dorms last night. So if you didn't receive one, please talk to your PA to get one. Even if you don't want to compete in the challenge, take a look at the items and try to accomplish some of them. On Sunday, turn your completed wellness survey in at the closing assembly. Everyone who turns in a completed wellness survey is eligible to win an Apple Watch.
Sorry, 2 people will win an Apple Watch. If that wasn't clear, not everyone's getting an Apple Watch. You're eligible to win an Apple Watch. Tech Team is having an Instagram photo challenge. Take your best PA group photo and use the hashtag SLC17. Please take plenty of photos and share it on the Instagram and tag California 4-H. And if you have photos that you would like to share with this year's afterglow, please send it to CA4H, that address right there. That's good to do.
Take a picture of that if you want to send pictures to them. And also, just a quick reminder, please wear your name tags around your neck at all times. Don't forget, they can hold your room key. It's a great place to keep your food pass in, and most importantly, your schedule. If you're wondering where you're supposed to be, that's where that is.
Workshop sessions A and B are from 1:15 to 3:30, not 2:30 to 3:30.
So that's a schedule error, just so you know. So once again, 1:15 to 3:30, not 2:30 to 3:30. So you may want to write that in. So now we will begin our traditional SLC trick and trade and ice cream social. So at this time, we would like to dismiss our alumni to the ice cream line. So all the delegates, please stay seated for a moment.
Hey,